All right. So, yeah, just one update to that bio. I have a baby boy on the way in March, so we're expanding the family. So, thank you. And yeah, we just had back-to-back hurricanes, so I'm happy to be here where, the leaves are falling, not trees. And yeah, let's get into it. I've been at Malwarebytes for about 8 years, mostly working on Browser Guard and the research tools team. Research tools team has been on and off as we've gone through some changes. Before that, I worked at an agency, and yeah, I love working at Malwarebytes. I love helping protect users and keeping them safe. So I wanted to give you some. This is a quick talk. It's not, I'm not going to get super technical. I'm just going to do high level. And if you guys want to catch me later, we can talk a little bit more in detail about some of these. But I wanted to keep it short and sweet and hopefully give you some inspiration on, beyond ad blocking, what are some of the other things that people are running into on the web. So let's get into it. So first, let's talk about transition challenges. With MV2, all of you are very aware, we had web request blocking, RIP, and we also, with that, could get elaborate custom blocking logic. All that is well known. You can't recreate a lot of those rules in declarative net request. So this has required us to be a little bit more creative. Yes, sir.
Confidential on the slides, but you are aware that.
Yes, I am aware. Yeah, I was lazy and didn't edit that part of the slides. So you're in for a confidential public talk. So one of the things we ran into, is the fact that lots of script kiddies and anyone can get a hold of like some sort of, phishing or scam software and publish a website. There's tons of free website tools and generators. So every day there's, thousands, millions of websites being created that are malicious. So one approach to helping protect these users is just to, generate new databases constantly, push out all these updates, because usually they're taken down pretty fast, but they're up too fast for them. So in MV3, we know we got limited rule space. One of the things we talked about internally was the instant static rule update feature that Chrome has, which is awesome. We thought, well, maybe we could help users by just saying, okay, we're just going to take the last 30 minutes or the last hour of rules and just publish those constantly. Maybe that's something we'll look into in the future, but right now we need more support across browser stores. And you guys are familiar with the rest of this. So let's go through some of the current threats. And I'm not going to go through every single threat. There's, there's all kinds of scams, email scams, romance scams, social media scams that people get into. I'm not going to get into that here. Just some of the major things that we've been working on. So the first is malicious search ads, which you guys at AdGuard got me thinking about even more. Because I hadn't really fully considered the AI implications of that. But these are some interesting examples. Like you can see here, this is Google. It says it's Google. It says official website. It's on Google's homepage. Sorry to call you out, Google. Slack, same thing. But these are, in fact, malicious phishing websites. And they hide it by using tracking links to obfuscate their full origin or their destination. These are real examples. Yeah, caught by our research team. So in this case, we take a zero trust model. It's pretty easy. Just remove the ad. But as we get into more complicated things like you were talking about with the AI, I'm still thinking about that. Next, credit card skimming. This is also a real example. The infected website has some sort of plugin or malicious JavaScript that gets loaded, and it doesn't show up on the main page. So if you're just casually perusing the website, it doesn't look infected. But once you get there to the checkout page, you're ready. You really want to buy this product. You're excited. You go and put in your credit card details, and bang, it goes off to some malicious server. This is an interesting one because a lot of the ones that we found, oh, wow, I'm talking too slow. Sorry. A lot of the ones we found were actually hiding themselves if they encountered an extension or a developer trying to look at it. So they try and monitor if the DevTools was open or some details are being inspected. So a few quick ways you might get around this is one, pretend that you're doing that so it never loads. And maybe you could have an aggressive mode with MV3 because you couldn't have a custom elaborate logic around this, but if you could create a criteria of suspicious domains or patterns of domains that for post input requests, and just try blocking all of those, because that tends to be what happened. They're some weird unknown domain, and they're not related to this website. It'll be blah 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 dot Azure dot whatever. Good. So that's that. Malicious downloads. This is the OG, in my opinion. This is where people got most in trouble on the net a long time ago. But this is still prevalent today. People are still downloading bad files, malware, Trojans, all kinds of things. So luckily in MV3, we still have the download API. So this is good. We have lots of very interesting elaborate, regex rules and pattern matching, if it comes from this origin or that origin. And, just taking a little bit more of a zero trust pattern for websites we've never seen before. Oh, I should not have done papers. All right. And so the next two, I'm going to kind of just show you some examples, and then we'll talk a little bit more about this, because this is the first thing that Malwarebytes Browser Guard attempted to help users with, which is these tech support scams. You still see them today, even though phishing has become a little bit more popular. And whoops. All right, and phishing. You guys have probably all seen this sort of stuff. They look pretty real to the casual observer, but they're fake. So, and this is difficult because, you need to, okay, wait, I'm going to talk about it. Hold on. So I think these are similar problems, even though they're different. So a couple of techniques that we've come up with is, behavior monitoring. What is the website doing? Like a lot of those tech support scam sites, you'll see it trying to spam the history API. So you keep going back, and it seems and it also abuses the full screen API and makes the page full screen, so the user thinks it's a real desktop Microsoft alert. So we can monitor that using the dirty word, but monkey patching, and just look at what the website is doing. And there's some advanced, well, we call them advanced. Maybe they're not super advanced, but this is something we're looking into right now. And we're taking a lot of inspiration from EasyList and AdBlock, but AdBlock Plus, and extending that to scam and phishing blocks. So these are some example types of rules that our research team has come up with. And these are real rules. These are real threats in the wild right now. And beyond that, some of the other things we've researched is using machine learning and AI. Like someone said earlier today, it's 2024, so we got to use AI. And so we've used ChatGPT Vision. That's been pretty accurate, even with no training at all. We've also trained our own machine learning models and experimented using them with WASM locally. So, yeah, and that's high level. And the final one is protecting the whole person. So even if you stay safe, oh boy, if you stay safe, other users or other websites, they get hacked. Something happens. You did nothing wrong. You never entered your password somewhere, but that site is hacked. So we've introduced a feature where we're monitoring websites for you, and we'll notify you if, hey, this website you're interacting with has been hacked. So maybe you want to check up and make sure you weren't put at risk. That feature is live in our extension right now, and it's a pretty cool little page. You should check it out. And so, thank you. Thank you.